Alright everyone, I hope I'm not jinxing it, but the weather has been incredible here in the UK, so I think it's time to talk about summer trends. My favourite way to do this is to take a look at GQ's recommendations, because hey, they're the experts, right? So I'm going to go through their list and let you know my thoughts, as well as the best pieces to get in my opinion. I'll also sprinkle in a few of my own recommendations which I think are missing from their list. I'll try to leave links to everything I'm talking about in today's video down in the description box below, so let's get into it. First up, we know shorts are going to be one of the go-to pieces in summer, but which ones? Well, it looks like short shorts are making a strong case again. They've been popular over the past few years, but specifically in sporty styles such as football or soccer shorts. This summer we might see a similar length with around a 6-inch inseam, but a change in style, something a bit more dressy. I really like the examples GQ have picked out here. Brown boxer shorts from Commission are 100% cotton and made in the USA, and they give you that shorter, more flattering length while still looking quite mature. You could definitely dress these up with something like a half-tucked linen shirt and some loafers to go out for dinner, or just wear them casually in the day. Abercrombie have absolutely tons of nice examples as well, at a bit more of an affordable price. I especially like the brown striped and seersucker ones, but they also have linen, which would be ideal. So although soccer or football shorts might be less popular this summer, the jerseys are reaching their peak again. I've definitely seen a huge rise in people wearing these over the last year or two, and they're probably going to be everywhere this summer. It does kind of make sense. They're made to be breathable when you're warm and sweaty, and of course the designs are often very exciting. You could go down the route of buying something new. For example, Adidas do a great range of vintage inspired jerseys which are nice. But the real trick here is to go proper vintage in my opinion. It's a bit pricier and might take you a while to hunt one down, but it will be so worth it. Why get a replica when you can get the real thing? True vintage ones will always look better, and if you ever get sick of the trend, you'll be able to sell it on easily. Or you might just be happy to keep it if it's a team you support. Next up is a colour trend we're likely to see this summer, and it's monochrome. So everything in the outfit being the same colour. I think this is linked with both the return to minimalism, which we're seeing in some corners of the fashion world, as well as the popularity of smart streetwear, so wearing your blazers and trousers in more casual settings. The key this time round is that the silhouettes are a bit more relaxed, so it doesn't look like you're going to work. And a critical part of pulling this look off will be to layer in different fabrics and textures. This keeps everything from looking like a solid block. I really like COS for this type of look. They sell a variety of things in similar colours, which would all work well together. To be honest, monochrome isn't something I think I'll be incorporating into my rotation. I love wacky old vintage t-shirts too much, but when done right, it's a real head turner, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of it this summer. Next up is one that I'm basically going to skip over. GQ seem to think that leather is going to be big this summer. I can't think of a worse thing to wear in the heat than a leather jacket, as they've pictured here. The only leather you'll be catching me wearing in summer is either boots or belts. Other than that, I'm sticking to much lighter fabrics, so let's move on. One pattern that's having a bit of a moment and might be popular this summer is plaid. Plaid or check, whatever you want to call it, was wildly popular 10 to 15 years ago, but it's been kind of out of the mainstream for a while. However, this summer, we may see a lot more of it, and no surprises to hear that we'll see it on button-up shirts. It's the perfect pattern for the sunny weather. One that I've recently picked up is from Hiroshi Kato, honestly one of the nicest flannel shirts I've ever owned, and that rusty orange colour is stunning. RL have got loads of nice western inspired styles, and you know they're going to be good quality. I'm also a bit obsessed with this washed shirt from D Squared, but yeah, if you don't have yourself a good quality plaid shirt yet, then this summer is the time to get one. Now apparently the two most popular colours this summer are going to be pastel pink and slime green. Pastel pink is definitely something I could get on board with. I've always liked the washed out colours, and pastel pink has a bit of classiness to it. I think a nice pink linen shirt like this one from Uniqlo would be a very nice addition. Slime green on the other hand, I'm not too sure about. I feel like every summer has one crazy colour. Last summer was metallic for example. Probably linked to it being festival season, as well as people just looking for new ways to look exciting without adding layers. But this green looks a bit too much like high vis to me. Personally, I like to be a little bit more low key, but each to their own. Okay, next up, let's take a look at some footwear, which can always be tricky in summer. Without a doubt, the rising star in this category is Gladiator Shoes, or FISHERMAN sandals. Essentially, strappy leather sandals. I actually love these, and might hop onto this trend. They're different from anything else I have in my rotation, and they actually look comfortable and practical. I like that they have a bit of chunkiness and presence to them, despite being a sandal, which can often be quite flimsy. Playmen do a really good looking pair, as do Doc Martens. They just seem to be a much more mature version of a typical sandal, which I think you could easily dress up on a summer evening, but would also be just as good to wear out casually to the beach. The next thing GQ are predicting to be popular this summer are graphic slogan t-shirts. And I don't think they mean like nice vintage band tee graphics. They literally mean like slogans written all over your t-shirt. Again, this is something that was super popular sort of 10 to 15 years ago, and in my opinion still looks very outdated. I didn't like slogan tees back then, and I still don't. They look like the type of thing you pick up from the sales section in H&M for £2.50. Meaningless words written all over your t-shirt for the sake of looking edgy and fashionable. I know some people don't like what I wear, but I think slogan tees are the ultimate cringe, so it'll be a hard pass from me. Next on the list is a pretty obvious one, and it's hats. You can't go wrong with a baseball cap in summer, and the ones I'm always drawn to are the RRL ones. They use a lot of vintage inspired logos, and they're often made of wool, which is a great looking texture to break up an outfit. And since it's quite a warm material, wearing it on your head is probably the only way in summer. Ebbets Field are another brand I'm always looking at for baseball caps. Much like RRL, a lot of vintage inspired designs in a woolen material. And I believe a lot of their stuff is still made in the USA. Next is definitely something that's carried over from last summer, and it's diamond or crystal studded things. This is becoming particularly popular in belts, and I think a lot of that has to do with the love of all things Western over these past few years. We're seeing so many studded belts, from more edgy metal studs to the more intricate rhinestone or crystal adorned belts. Basically, people are wanting more decorative belts at the moment, and I'm all for it. Bodie and Our Legacy have some super nice ones at the moment, or if you want something with a bit more colour, then DC have this crazy one. Or you could just go for trusty old RRL again, who have been making Western inspired studded belts for years. Now there's just two extra things that I want to call out, which I was surprised to not see on GQ's list. First is very specific, blue striped shirts. Preferably linen. I'm seeing these absolutely everywhere at the moment. There's something about a blue vertical striped shirt that just goes so well in any summer outfit. I have one from Uniqlo which is 100% premium linen, and I've already worn it a lot this year. Very much a regular fit though, so if you want something a bit more stylized, then this one from MF Pen might suit you. It's a little shorter in length and has a boxy shape, but whichever one you get, they'll definitely be a nice addition to your warm weather wardrobe. And finally, a huge miss from GQ to not include boat shoes. These are easily one of the most popular styles of 2025 and will only continue to grow in summer. They're one of those versatile shoes that you could wear all seasons, to be honest, especially if you have one with a chunky sole. And you can definitely wear it with something smarter or dress it down as an everyday shoe. Personally, I think the Portland shoes from Sebago look like a good deal. They have that classic boat shoe look, seem to be well made and well priced. And so there you have it, the trends we'll see this summer, apparently, plus a few extras from me which I think we'll definitely see. Do let me know what you think of these and whether you're looking to pick anything up. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.